There's a lot of advice floating around for CS students. Some of it sounds motivational, some of it productive, and some of it even sounds like somebody that survived a semester and decided they were a philosopher. And the worst part? A lot of the advice that's supposed to help you actually slows you down. I know that because I followed them. So this video is about the worst CS advice I've ever taken, how long I believed it, and what it cost me before I finally realized something was off. Because surviving CS isn't just about coding, it's also about figuring out who you should ignore when they give you advice. I have heard this time and time again. This is probably the first lie every CS student hears. Grades don't matter, and just build projects. Honestly, it sounds great. It sounds freeing, even. Like you've escaped the system. Why stress about exams when you can build cool things, learn real skills, and become employable? So I bought into it. I told myself grades are fake, GPA is arbitrary, and that I'm above this. And instead of all that, I coded. I built side projects, tried new frameworks, explored random ideas, and 2 in the morning, because that felt like real learning. And for a while, it worked. Until it did. Because here's a part most people leave out. Grades aren't everything, but they are a signal. Not a perfect one, not a divine judgment, but a signal of your knowledge. When your course load piles up and deadlines stack on top of each other, ignoring grades doesn't make the pressure disappear. It just delays it. Because when you're doing a course, and you get a C, not only does that mean you messed up the course, but it also means that you most likely didn't even understand what the course was about. And when recruiters ask about performance or internships start filtering applications or opportunities quietly disappear, you realize something uncomfortable. C's get degrees is technically true, but A's open doors to employments. Okay, honestly, this one isn't advice someone else told me, but rather something I believed in. And that is, you need to master the fundamentals before you build anything real. Now, that sounds responsible, even sounds disciplined, and that's why I took it seriously. Back when I was first learning web development, before building anything, I told myself I needed to understand every major library, every framework, and every best practice. Before touching machine learning, I wanted to understand every optimization, the math, the gritty details. I was preparing to prepare to start, and guess what happened? Nothing. Weeks passed, then months. I consumed tutorials, docs, videos, but nothing crossed the finish line because mastery is a moving target. There's always one more thing to learn before you finally feel ready. And readiness becomes an excuse to delay discomfort. And that's what I learned the hard way. You don't become good, then build. You build and become good because of it. Start generalist, get something working, let it be messy, then let the experience from that sharpen your intuition faster than perfection ever will. Specialize later, but don't wait for mastery to give yourself permission to start. Another classic. No one ever really says follow the trend. No. Instead, they bombard your YouTube recommended with the latest technologies or whatever the hot topic is right now. Blockchain, AI, Web3, Rust, insert another buzzword here or something. And so, when I was first starting, I chased trends. Not because I cared about them, but because I thought I was supposed to. I'd jump into technologies that didn't match my skill level, didn't connect to my goals, and didn't fit any project I actually cared about. I wasn't learning deeply, I was collecting buzzwords like Pokemon cards. And here's what I learned. Trendy tech doesn't make you interesting. Useful skills and competency do, because foundations last longer than hype. The best technology to learn is the one that fits your current level, solves a problem that you care about, or compounds over time in the field that you're interested in. Trends fade, understanding doesn't. So maybe don't listen to your favorite YouTube guru all the time. This one hurt the most. Ever since I was a kid, I was weirdly independent. I would find something interesting, usually to do with philosophy and self-improvement, because I'm such a Sigma, and instead of thinking, oh cool, I would instead learn every nook, cranny, and crevice of that thing. This also played into my need for a depth of knowledge on a subject in order for me to feel competent in said subject. So when I first picked up programming, the same thought boomed in my head. I can do this myself. I don't need formal courses. Everything is online. And yeah, technically that's true. You can learn everything online. But that doesn't mean you should. I tried skipping structured learning. No syllabus, no roadmap, just vibes. And what I got was endless tutorials, half-understood concepts, and projects that went nowhere. See, structure isn't about restriction, it's about giving a map. Back when I was doing all those things, kind of aimlessly wandering about, I felt busy, sure, but I was stuck. A good course filters out the noise, orders concepts, saves you from dead ends, and tells you exactly what matters. Self-learning is powerful, but unguided self-learning can quietly waste months. Structure doesn't replace curiosity, it protects it. Okay, now I kind of sound like a shitty person, but I just wanted to say the advice itself isn't always wrong. The problem is usually figuring out when it applies. When people tell you advice, they're not lying to your face, they're just telling what worked for them at that specific moment in that specific circumstance. Like I said, grades matter, but not equally forever. Sometimes you have to go out and build a side project to look better on your resume. Generalist first, but again, not never. You have to specialize later on in your career to get into those higher promotions. Trends can actually help if they align with your path. Structure helps until you have to break it to get past that intermediate level. The hardest skill in CS isn't coding. It's filtering what you need to do, what to take seriously, and what to ignore based on where you are, not where someone else is. So here's what's stuck. Grades matter, not obsessively, but intentionally. Start broad, then specialize aggressively. Don't chase trends blindly, chase understanding. Use structure to save time, use projects to test reality, and most importantly, learn by failing and then iterating. Because surviving CS isn't about doing everything right, it's about figuring out what actually works for you before you listen to someone that's just confidently telling you it doesn't.